Yo, what is going on, guys? TymeStopper here, coming back at you another Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, in this video, we are talking about the importance of masteries on the free-to-play and how they have come in huge to help us with our clan boss damage and just a quick overview on the account. So, let's jump into the video. Okay, guys, so as you can see, we have about 15 hours left on CVC. I have been doing my darndest to just cram as many points as I possibly can in. I mean, we are on the free-to-play account, so there's obviously limitations on what we can do, and I did drain a lot of my resources, gems, etc., just working on that champ training right before this started, and I mean, it was well worth it. I got a legendary book out of it. I got a lot of champs trained up, so, you know, I'm feeling really good about where the account is and where our progress is. We are at account level 53 already, which is absolutely amazing when you think about it. I mean, we are just on what, day 34, 35 login. So, I mean, to be where I'm at already that quick, I'm impressed, right? So, shard count real quick. We got the 2 sacred still. We got 1 void, 56 ancients. And then as for on the clan v clan, you can see I've done 67,000 points, not the highest by far in the clan. You know, we've got Free for Pain and the Nose over here. I believe both of them managed to get Alton, which is obviously 30,000 points, not to take away from anything that they're doing. Absolutely fantastic. We are in the lead by about 200,000, it looks like, and that's big at this point. So I'm feeling pretty good about our odds to win this CVC, which again will be great. It's going to let us pick up some of this jewelry here. We got a 5-star rare blood shield ring and then a 5-star rare reaction ring as well. So that would be nice if we could pick those up. Obviously, it's not over till it's over, but you know, we're doing really well. You can see that we are a bunch of free-to-players though. Look at this minnow objectives. 92,000 points into minnow. We are just spending all of our time in minnow. We're doing well over here and whatnot, but you know what? I mean, that's neither here nor there. You guys want to know what's going on, right? So we got that done. Right now, we do have the Ethels Path event going on, and this is actually a really, really good event for us because it's going to let us pick up a bunch of stuff. Now, it is going to take about 15,000 points for us to get all the way down here, but there is a legendary skill tome down here, so I don't know if we can get there in 3 days, to be quite honest with you, because I just don't know if we have enough resources to make it happen, but I've already started my way down there. I got some gems, I got some points, you know, we got some brewskis, and then we're just headed down this left-hand side. I decided to go the left-hand side, even though the right-hand side is slightly cheaper, and the reason that I did that is because at the end of the day, if I get to a point where I'm just not getting enough points to get down there, I want to be able to pick up these 3-star chickens. That's going to be massive for us. If I can pick those up at 600 points a piece, like if, you know, basically what I'll do is I'll get down to 1 and then I'll just hold all my points till the end after that. And if I can get down, you know, this 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,000 more points or whatever, then I will. But if I don't, then I'll just stop here and just pick up these chickens and then maybe start going down the other side where it's cheap and stuff like that. Because 3,000 for Ethel, I mean, I don't need her as a champion. It's not someone that I would build up at this point. I have my core set. I don't know that I would use her anywhere. She'd probably just end up as a chicken, and 3,000 for a chicken versus 600, well, you know, obviously do the math. So we got that going on. Oh, and that is actually done by getting artifacts. So like dungeon divers, I'm kind of hiding it a little bit here, and then upgrading artifacts. So what I did was I went to the forge for day 1 of CVC, and I forged up all of the gear, like the cheap 4-star gear that I probably wasn't going to use because I've been farming this guardian gear forever. But I can only get 4 stars, so I'm probably not going to use it. There's not a ton of benefit, so I sold most of it. And then what I did was I did also forge up the 4-star perception gear. That, on the other hand, I will use because it can go on all of my faction wars champions to help me. Like, basically, I just took it all, and if we go over here and look, you'll see that I have now gotten See, where's my, let's go down here to where our perception is. You can see I've gotten a ton of this perception gear. It's all leveled to 8, and then resilience as well, leveled it up to 8. And I'll just throw that on Faction Wars champions, leave it at 8, and call it a day. And basically that'll get me through the first like 6, 7 levels of Faction Wars without a problem, stacking those stars up, because that's really where we want to start getting some extra rewards at now. We've gotten all the easy rewards from campaign. We're on to Nightmare at this point. However, with Faction Wars, you can see down here, we are at 98. Well, you kind of can't see, I'm a little bit in the way, but we got 98 stars right now. But basically the way this works is these first couple levels are pretty easy as long as you have enough champions. So if I have weak champions that are maybe like level 30, I throw some, level 8 gear on them, that will definitely get me through like the first boss, maybe up, in this area with just cheap stuff. Without having to invest a whole bunch, that's going to get me more forge mats, better forge mats, and more stars. So I can start picking up some of this stuff. We got ancient shards in there, and, as we go along, you get better and better rewards. Where are we at here? Yeah, you get better and better rewards. So right now we're on this bottom row right here, but as you can see near the end here, we start picking up more shards, void shards, epic tomes, and this is just obviously the further you go, the better and better rewards get. So that's really where we want to go at next. So that's kind of where we're at on that. As for everything else, of course, in the arena, we are still chugging along. We are still in Gold 5. And as you can see, I'm just cherry picking the easy fights and stuff like that, which is actually making it super difficult. Because if we go and look at our missions and where we're at on the missions, I am now on the defeat 100 champions in Classic Arena. So I am trying to defeat one Arbiter at a time. It is going to take forever for me to do this. However, someone did mention a trick to this, which I haven't been able to try yet because I haven't found the right team. But if you can find someone that has, say, a really strong champion and then 3 weak champions in it, if you defeat the 3 weak champions, even if you lose the fight, you still get the defeat for the 3 champions. I might end up dropping back to Gold 4 to do this, but if I can find that, I will just farm it over and over and over because I have plenty of tokens. I'm still to the point where I get so many tokens every day, I can't do the fights. You can see right now I got 8 tokens there. The only reason I have a red dot here is because I have a pack of tokens that I don't want to pick up yet. We've got tokens in here yet. We've got a pack of tokens in here that's going to expire in 5 hours. We got 5 tokens there, and we are still sitting on these tokens right here. So we got plenty of tokens, we just can't get enough fights in. So if I find someone that has some like weak champions with a really good one, I'm certainly going to probably drop. I'll just take the losses on it just to kill those 3 champions and move that along. As you can see here, upgrade 3 Great Hall bonuses to level 5. I did hold all of my Great Hall upgrades till CVC to get those extra points. So we are on 2 of 3. Basically, we've gone crit damage and accuracy on magic. We're probably going to do the accuracy over here for spirit. That'll help our deacon out, which means that instead of having to give him accuracy for him to land the defense down, I can just go full speed on him as a speed lead, which will be super helpful because the less accuracy that I need to put into him, the better. So that's where we're going to go at next. We need 250. I'm hoping today we can get the other 200 gold medals that we need from this. If I can go ahead and upgrade this now. It won't do a ton for me over here because we still, well, I mean, we could collect that up and get the legendary book, but I still don't have anyone I want to book. Speaking of books, again, it's CVC, so we did go ahead and every book we have, we went ahead and used. So if you take a look, we've got Demitha, right? So we managed to land almost all of our books in the A1, go figure, right? So, bigger damage, bigger shields. We got 3 of the books into the A2 helping out that heal a little bit. We'd like to get to that cooldown. We need 2 more books for that. And then we did get the cooldowns on her block damage. So that's good. And that's obviously got some heals with it as well. So overall, pretty good. We are still sitting on 6 legendary books because I don't really know that I want to. I don't know who I want to invest in. I don't know if I want to invest them into Rhonda. I don't know if I want to invest them into Errol, or I just want to wait. We do have 2x Ancients coming up in like a week and a half. Maybe I pull something then that I want to use them on. I think I'd probably rather wait. Because I'm not like super passionate about either of those champions at this point, I think I'm probably just better off waiting until the next CVC comes around in 2 weeks to even consider who I would book. As for the champions. So we obviously have our five. We have our core five, right? We have our Demitha, our Jareg, our Deacon, our Frozen Banshee, and our Kale, all at 6-star. Now, big upgrades have happened over CVC, and that's because I committed during CVC to do nothing with energy other than run masteries. So I only had masteries on Kale and Frozen Banshee coming into CVC. I had like the first level. I didn't run any on Deacon yet. These are the ones that have been on him ever since because you do some of those early missions and whatnot. So I left those. However, I did want to run masteries on Jareg and Demitha because I wanted to get them down to War Master so we can get those War Master procs. It's going to help them to heal. It's going to help increase the damage. And oh my goodness, has it increased the damage. So I've been running all of my energy into Minnow 15. Each run is taking me anywhere from 2 to 4 minutes, depending on whether or not Kale dies in the first or second wave. But hey, you know what? Doesn't matter. Run it overnight, no big deal. However, we have made big strides into Mytha's masteries. You can see we got her all the way down to War Master. We're only missing one set of masteries so far on Demitha, so we'll have those. That's 200 scrolls. We're halfway there. And then Jareg is basically at the same spot. We did get War Master on him as well. And oh my goodness, has it made a massive difference. So prior to running the masteries on both of these champions, I have been hitting hard and brutal clan boss every day. Depending on affinities, you know, on Void, sometimes I do okay. But when it would go to Force, obviously with all the magic champions and Frozen Banshee having to basically land poison sensitivity to even put poisons up, it was killing my clan boss damage. However, even on hard, I was struggling because champions would go down and whatnot. I would basically get anywhere from 8 to right at 11 millions. And if we look at how much you need for a max chest on hard, you need 11.648. So a lot of days I was not getting to this max chest because it was taking me 3 keys on brutal. And I would need 2 keys on this to get to max chest. Well, spoiler alert, take a look at this key right here that I just did. So we went from no masteries on Demitha and Jareg, neither one of which are damage dealers, mind you. We put War Master on them, and as you can see, we did 17.8 million on 1 key. Now, granted, this is on hard, and I wish I had a key left on brutal. By the way, the difference is I hit brutal earlier today without those masteries on, and what did we get? We got 11.71 with no War Master on either of those champions. So brutal 2 key is 21,694. So I'm pretty positive we're going to 2 key brutal today because it did go Spirit Affinity. That 11 was on Void. So on Spirit, I think we'll be okay because obviously we are positive affinity with all of our magic champions, which means that we will be able to put a key into Nightmare and test out Nightmare today as well. So I'm pretty pumped about that because ultimately Nightmare is where you can first start getting those Sacred Shard drops and those Void Shard drops. Much, much better. Granted, you can get Shard drops on Brutal, like on the top chest as well, but it is few and far between. I can tell you, I have tracked my clan boss drops for, let's go back and take a look real quick. I'll bring up my clan boss tracking. So you can see I have 547 days of clan boss tracking. And this is from my main account, mind you, of me hitting Ultra Nightmare, Nightmare, and Brutal every day, getting double chests on those. So in 547 days, double chests. So over 1,000 chests on Brutal, I've gotten a total of 22 Void Shards. I've gotten a total of 85 Ancient Shards. So Brutal is not it, right? So as you can see, if we look at the numbers, much, much better numbers on Nightmare. You're getting Ancient Shards, you're getting Legendary books, you're getting tons of Epic books, you're getting Void Shards, you're getting Sacred Shards. Not as good as the Ultra Nightmare numbers, but good numbers either way. So our goal, even if we have to 4-key it, is to get up to this Nightmare chest and at least do 11 to 12 million per key. Now, obviously, that could change if we go to a bad affinity every day. So my plan is basically to wake up every day to hit. Generally right in the morning, I have 2 keys to go. So my plan is to hit Nightmare on Void for 2 keys right away, basically. And that will probably give me about 22 million-ish damage, I would hope. Maybe a little more, fingers crossed, right? And then I can hit, later in the day, I can hit the Brutal Clan boss. And depending on what the affinity goes to for Nightmare, I may end up being able to try to go for the max chest on Nightmare, right? So if it goes to a good affinity, then okay, maybe we continue on Nightmare for the rest of the day. But if it goes to a bad affinity, then I can hit Brutal instead and maybe just get top chest on Brutal and maybe like second chest on Nightmare. But if it's a good affinity that day, maybe we get top chest on Nightmare. That's the plan. Will it work? I don't know, because we haven't hit Nightmare yet. Hopefully today I'll be able to put a key into Nightmare and we can kind of see how we do on Nightmare Clan Boss. So we got a couple people in the clan obviously hitting Nightmare. These guys are all going to 4-key it, I believe. What's it, 40 million? So yeah, they're all going to 4-key it. I'm not sure why he's hitting Nightmare. That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. He's actually just hurting himself because he's definitely not going to get there. And if you guys aren't aware, if a chest is named something, that chest is the same drops no matter where you get it. So for example, the 3rd chest on Nightmare is a Grand Master chest, 26 million. These drops are exactly the same as the top chest on Brutal. So if your clan is not taking down Nightmare, right, and you're only getting 3rd chest on Nightmare, you're actually hurting yourself because you're getting 1 Grand Master chest for that day. But on Brutal, you can see the clan took down Brutal. If you get top chest on that, you're getting 2 Grand Master chests. So it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense at this point for this player to be hitting Nightmare because our clan is not going to take down Nightmare. So hopefully he's watching the video. If not, I'll leave him a message in game, but that literally makes 0 sense for him to be doing that right now. He's just hurting himself at the end of the day. But yeah, Mastery's making all the difference for us. Obviously, you know, Hydra reset, we can't really hit Hydra very well, and we are still struggling on some of the advanced quests because we just don't have the stuff to ascend, you know, and whatnot. But like today we did all the advanced quests. As for like weekly and monthly, we're doing pretty good. We're going to pick up some energy here, it looks like, pretty soon. And obviously we're going to pick this up. So overall, massive gains, obviously due to those masteries. So I cannot stress enough, if you are struggling with damage in clan boss, if you're struggling with damage on bosses, and you don't have masteries on your champions, it's 100% the reason why. There is no doubt in my mind. Now, the one spot I am still mightily struggling on is Doom Tower. I still have yet to pass this stupid Griffin on level 50. And there's a couple reasons why. One, most of my damage from my champions is not raw damage. So if you know the mechanics of the Griffin, basically he is going to take your buffs off of you and the debuffs off of him. And as he's doing these different mechanics throughout, it's going to land on you and it's going to hurt you. And then it just gets to a point where you just can't absorb the damage. Now, if I'd have taken Rhonda to 60 and built her out, then this would be a much easier fight. But most of my damage comes from Kale's poisons or Frozen Banshee's poisons, and I gotta be careful about when I put them up because he's throwing them back on me, basically. And unfortunately, Reliquary Tender, even though I made her a little beefy, she still is struggling on this. So we'll hop into this, take a look at this real quick. You guys can see what I mean. The first wave and stuff like that, not a big deal. Heck, even the second wave, not even really worried about it. I'll put it on auto. You can see we'll kind of make it through here pretty safely and stuff. And then near the end of the second wave, I will kind of take over in manual just to make sure everything is off of the cooldowns for me. I got super close on one run last night before everybody had mastery, so I know this is doable today, and I'm going to continue to work on this today if we don't get it here for the video. But basically you just have to kind of time everything out super well with this and just make sure that you're not putting up buffs on yourself when he's getting ready to rip them off, because every time he rips buffs off of you, it's going to increase the number of sky bonds that he has, and that's going to do more damage to you, and it just gets really ugly. Basically, you want someone that has no turn meter manipulation, you want someone that doesn't do buffs, and of course my entire team is built around buffs and debuffs and turn meter manipulation, because that's what works everywhere else in the game. It just doesn't work here in the game. So I'll let this go for another second here before I take over, because I'm pretty sure we can still reset everything. And then hopefully we can go into the Griffin with all of our stuff, reset and ready to go. So you can see we're just chugging along here. No one's really in danger of getting hurt. Okay, so we're going to take over right now, because I think we're at a good spot. Most of these guys are pretty low. It's going to make it easier for us to make sure that everything is off a cooldown. I did this once before, and some people did, like you can see TYME'S A2 has got a 3-turn cooldown on it because I wasn't able to book that. So we need that to be able to off cooldown when we get in there, along with all these other things. So let's go after this Chris right here, because he doesn't have the ally protection up. We can afford to take some damage, but as you can see here, I'm just A1 and everything, because we want to make sure that we get all of our stuff back once we get over there. Jureg, man, he kind of hits. I don't really have much on him, but he kind of hits. So another thing obviously is gear. If we can get some better gear here and start leveling up some gear, I think we'll be in a much better space as well. So the first turn here on the Griffin, he's going to remove all buffs from me. So I basically want to make sure I do not buff me. I also can't use any turn meter manipulation, blah, 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 because of one of his passives. I'm not even sure where it's at. Here, I think it's this one. No, one of his passives basically says, here we go. Whenever turn meter's filled, he's going to be filled by the same amount. And basically, I'm just going to get hosed. So this one, he's going to rip buffs off of me. His A2, he rips debuffs off of himself. However, with Deacon, he's going to put up debuffs no matter what we do. So we just got to make sure we don't use the A3. So we're going to try to land the decreased defense, which we did. And then with her, we want to make sure we have that cleanse ready, because he's going to throw all these buffs back on us. So we're just going to A1 with all these guys. Now, if we put poisons up here, he's going to throw those poisons back at us, and we'd have to cleanse them off, so we don't really want to do that. So what we're going to do here is, since Kale's A3 and his A1 put poison up, his A2 does not, so we're actually going to hit with his A2 right now. He still hasn't ripped buffs off of us, so we're just going to A1 here. So we got the decreased attack, which is going to help us just a little bit. Unfortunately, one of the passives does say that we get stunned if we decrease his turn meter, and Jureg does have, Eagle Eye on his A1, but you know what? It is what it is. So here, he ripped all the buffs off of him. Now he's going to rip the debuffs off of himself. So we want to make sure we don't put any debuffs up on him this turn, basically. So he is going to throw anything back at us. However, if we use her cleanse right now, I don't think we can even use this. No. If we use her cleanse right now, we're not going to have it available. So we're going to use her A1. We're going to use TYME'S A1. Now here, because Kale's A1 puts less poison up than his A3, we're going to go ahead and A1. We're going to put the little poison up, and you can see through it all back on us. And look at that. Reliquary Tender is down for the count already. So that is unfortunate, because again, he's back to his A3 here, which means that he is going to rip any buffs off. If I were to use TYME'S A2 to kind of pseudo cleanse and heal, I'm going to be in trouble here. So I don't want to do that. We're just going to A1 for right now, and we're going to hope that we end up okay after he does this rip off, essentially. Okay, good. So as long as we're above 50% health, he doesn't get any more sky bonds up there, which is really what we want to make sure. So now we got 3 turns. So basically, we're going to go ahead and put up the block damage at this point, because the block damage has some heals with it. We know that he is going to put stuff back on us, so we're going to go ahead and A1 there. We're going to A1 with Deacon. We are in the clear to put up the ally protection because it also does the increased defense. Now, he did throw everything back on us, and we are at a point where if we don't do this decrease, we might be in a little bit of trouble. So we're going to do that, even though she's going to extend our buffs a little bit. And then we can go ahead and put poisons up at this point because it's 2 turns. We got the A1 in there. We're going to do the decrease attack. Okay, we're still in pretty good shape here. We're going to go ahead and put the decreased defense up, even though he's going to throw it on us. That's okay. We don't want to put any more poisons up. Okay, he did rip those off. See, now we're in trouble, right? See how Kale went below 50%? He double hit us. And once he gets to 10 Sky Bonds, he's going to ignore where's it at? It's over here somewhere. Once he gets to 10 Sky Bonds, he is going to ignore unkillable block damage and shield, which is going to make it super difficult on us at this point. So I don't know if this is going to be the right run here. We're going to go with this route because we need some healing. The block damage we're not really worried about. We need the healing more than we need anything else. Kale's in real trouble here. You can see now he also put up a... And we have no way to cleanse this. So we're probably not going to make very much progress this run. Because Kale's going to go down here any second now. Boom, just like that. Kale is down. That was all of our damage. I mean, sure, we can get some damage from the War Master procs on these guys, but I have a feeling it's just not going to be enough at the end of the day. Let's go ahead and do some more heals here to make sure we are fully topped up. All he was able to throw onto me was the leech. Put the decreased defense up there. Got the decreased attack out. Let's see. We can go ahead and put this up as well. We got 1 turn left, but he's already got 15 Sky Bonds, so we're not looking good here, guys. But we are getting some decent damage out of Demitha from those War Master procs and Jareg from his War Master procs. So, I mean, if Kale would have lived through this, I think we had a real shot on this one. Oh, that hurt. Did you see that? Oh, man. He just obliterated Deke. And there goes Deke. Down for the count. All right. Well, this is not looking rosy here, right? I don't think these guys can get there with just War Master procs. We could put this up, but I don't think that's the play. I think we got to put the decrease attack up with her. I think that we're going to go and hope we get some War Master procs. Okay, so he can now rip stuff off in 2 turns. We're going to go there. That's going to hurt her a little bit. I mean, I don't think these guys can make this. I would be pleasantly surprised if they did. We're going to... Oh, man. That fear killed me. And now she has the heal reduction on there. Yeah, that's not going to be good. Because we can't really get rid of that. So even if we do land this, those heals aren't going to do much. And I don't think she can make it through this because she's not in lifesteal, which means that she's not going to really heal there. Let's see. What do we do here? We've already got decrease attack up. Let's just try to protect her some. Let's get her to heal. Yeah, those heals were pathetic right there. See, and then she took the fear hit. Oh, man, it's not good. Let's see. He's going to rip stuff off. So, whoop. And there we go. So Demitha's down. It is Jareg trying to come in here. Now, we already know this isn't going to work because he can't heal. The only thing he has healing for him is Life Drinker when he drops below 40%. And the only way to drop... And if we drop below 40%, we take double hits from the Griffin. So, not really good at all. And you can see the heals just aren't much compared to what he's hitting us for. So, I am... basically praying that the Griffin just gets weak hits on us the whole time, and that's just not a realistic thought. So this is probably going to be a fail here. I don't know. We're kind of chugging along. Oh, there we go. As soon as that fear happens, we're done. All right. Well, you know what? We didn't get it done this time. Maybe the next time. I'm going to keep working on it today, guys. Let me know how far you guys have made it in the Doom Tower. What am I missing? What strategy am I missing with this Griffin? I feel like there's something that I'm just missing and just not getting there. But guys, that's about all I have for today. Of course, make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a thumbs up, and of course, as always, until next time, be good.